Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about how to add and subtract fractions using a least common multiple. When you're finding the least common multiple for a fraction, we also call it a least common denominator because we need the denominators to be the same. So I have an example I've already started. In fact, this is with using three fractions. You can use this for finding the least common denominator of two fractions, three fractions, however many fractions you have. But what I did is I have the fraction 1/3, 1/4, and 1/2. And I need to find a common denominator that works for all of them. So if you look over to the right of my screen, I've already kind of written it out. And I know that you started doing this in the 4th grade, then you did it some more in the 5th grade, you did it some more in the 6th grade. And it might have just been finding the least common multiple. But by the 5th or 6th grade, you start talking about the least common denominator. So what I did is I wrote the three denominators, 3, 4, and 2, and then I started to work them out in multiples, the 2 in multiples of 2, the 4 in multiples of 4, the 3 in multiples of 3. Now, if you're really good with your multiplication tables, you can see without doing this process, you can see that 12 is the least common multiple because your brain can see the multiples of all these numbers. But not all students are good at that. So the method of writing it out like I did here on the screen is super helpful. So you just keep working out the numbers and multiples till you get a number that matches. Once you get that number, you're going to create new fractions using that denominator or that least common multiple, or like we were calling it, the least common denominator. Now, to get 2 to become a 6, we have to multiply it. To get 2 to become a 12, we have to multiply it by 6. But whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. So I'm going to multiply it times 6, and I get 6 over 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to multiply the numerator by 3, and I get 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm going to multiply the numerator by 4, and I get 1 times 4, which is 4. Now I have three fractions, and they all have the same denominator. So the pieces are the same. So now I can add them up. 4, 7, 13. But now I have another problem. It's top heavy. And we really haven't talked about how to turn a fraction that's top heavy into a mixed number. It'd be another way of simplifying it. But we have done top in the box. So we're going to use top in the box to simplify this fraction. So I'm going to put the 13 in the house, the 12 on the outside. 12 goes into 13, or it goes into 1 0 times, but it goes into 13 1 time. When I subtract, I have a remainder of 1. And so what we haven't talked about, though you did it last year and the year before, is that 1 now becomes the numerator, and the denominator is still the 12. So 13 over 12 is equal to 1 and 1 over 12. Okay, so you're going to be using this in one or two of the problems today on your quizzes. It was also on the review last night. So I did put up the review key, so I hope that you looked at that and were able to look at your answers. And be prepared to do least common multiple for 2 or 3 fractions on Friday's test. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.